last 6 possessions at the time I took this picture, the Bills punted, 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 field goal, punted, punted, and then after I took this photo, they punted again. I didn't keep track if they punted again after that, but how many times did I just say punt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 times? You have Matt Haack out there, more like Matt Haack, hacking every single kick realistically, and this guy, he punted 7 times for an average of 33.9 yards on average. And, people are going to be like, oh, well, he had a kick in the wind, so it's like, the saving graces for Matt Haack. But Brandon Mon, kicked in that too. He kicked actually 10 times and had an average of 49.7 yards per punt. So for me, and distance isn't everything. Sometimes you want to make things a little short, but the Bills, the reason why Matt Haack had to go out there and punt is because the Bills weren't executing on offense. And they weren't executing last week against the Atlanta Falcons, in my personal opinion. There were too many opportunities left on the board. And then you look at this game, and I am happy that the Bills won. But this should have been a way more lopsided score than really was. And it makes me, I guess, nervous thinking about the wild card round when all the teams are good and you don't face the 32nd ranked defense. So you got to capitalize on those opportunities if you want to progress in this playoff picture.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest concern coming out of this game is, over the last 2 weeks, you were able to get it done. And I don't want to sound like too negative here. We did just wrap up the division. But over the last 2 weeks, you're able to seal up wins. But I don't think anybody's going to confuse the Falcons or the Jets for, this great level of competition. And like you said, there was just a lot that was left out there. And I think there was some wind that was carrying the ball a little bit, making some of those sideline grabs a little bit more difficult. But we saw a few missed opportunities. You mentioned Diggs, Gabriel Davis. He had another one along the sidelines. And for me, the biggest one standing out in my head is kind of like the play that never was. And it was the 4th and 1. We're running the hard count, and it seems like the offense really thought we were going and would have converted it, but McDermott gets the late timeout in to bring Matt, what the heck are you doing out there, to punt. And it just seems to me like there was a little bit of a loss of the aggression that we were seeing last week and over the last couple weeks. And that's a spot where it really bothers me using the timeout there. If you want to do the hard count and try to get the free 5 yards, I'm all for that. That's fine. But if it doesn't work, I mean, if you're going to punt the ball anyways, take it 5 yards back. I just think it's a poor use of a timeout. But overwhelmingly, how I feel in that situation is we know who Matt Haack is as a punter, and he's struggled as a punter this year. And you have a very productive offense against the worst defense in the league. So 4th and 1, try to draw them off sides, but right before the play clock expires, run that quarterback sneak with Josh Allen, give him a chance to pick it up, and if he doesn't, you have the best defense in the league, and let them go out in there and take care of business. I just really don't like seeing that sequence right there.